Okay, you got the thumbs up. Super producer says stream is good. And so with that, I would like to say welcome to the Stardom Fan Podcast. I'm Mark.
I'm Juno.
Yes, and today isn't just a podcast. Today is not just a live stream. Today is a celebration, Juno. It is a celebration. Everything that has been wrong with the world, starting from the end of Tag League, the past 6 months, everything was fixed in 4 simple hours. They decided to do it. We have Hanan version 2.0. We got new era starting left and right, including the new era. And did you get your care package in the mail today?
What care package?
It was insane. Like it was like overnighted from Japan.
Mm-hmm.
It had like these little like glitter all over it, and I was it came with instructions to drink the Kool Aid 6 ounces every 2 hours, like on the 2 hours, and I am an all in into the cult. It's party time, baby.
Oh
Now I gotta
God.
catch my breath.
Ugh. Jeez, you don't usually make me swig the moonshine before the podcast is over.
Oh no, I mean seriously, it is nothing
You
but
drink the
feeling good. I mean,
Kool-Aid, I'll drink the moonshine. What happened? You're back?
I don't know. Like, remember? I mean, I've been talking to my therapist about it. I mean, it's been crazy ever since. Uh, what was it? Last November? Well, I think we diagnosed the fact that Nene broke me, and then in one day, everything is righted with the world. I mean, we could have got the cherry on top, and Kashima should be the high speed champion, but you can't get everything you want, right? No, just everything you need. Yeah, you don't always get what you want, but sometimes you get what you need. And Grand Queendom was everything a wrestling fan needs.
By the way, I just put my waveform thing on the screen for people watching on YouTube. So, are we entirely sure you're not an AI? Like,
Me?
did the new patch update come out?
I know it put me in a good mood for the first time in a while. Ah, it was just so good. I mean, uh, in the you know what started off fun too. Uh, what was your experience? The few people that joined you, Quincy, was kind enough. One of our fans and friends of the channel, um, invited us to a watch party of his, and it was fantastic. And it was the first time I ever attempted to watch any Japanese show live. I checked out at about 3 in the morning. What time did it end for you?
um, when the sun came up, and then a little longer than that.
Like, oh, so it's the main event. Like, what time was that for you? He's like, you're like, I don't know, 7, like in the morning. Like, wow.
I don't know. Time to a time for like. I'm glad the pay per view wrapped up when it did, so that I could like start working.
I know. I told you, I'm like, it would have been so irresponsible. I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh, one more. And of course, it's just like whenever we watch a Stardom show, but this one was like, so good from top to bottom, pretty much. Because I'm like, all right, I'll stay up and watch the Battle Royal. And then what was next after that? I'm like, all right, you know what? It's a little early. That ended quick. I can stay up and watch Muscle Mommy with her two bitches, right?
Yeah.
And then after that, what do we have? We have Starlight. So now I'm like, oh, okay, well, I might as well watch this. And then they're like, oh, wait, what do they have? Well, I watched a ton of matches before I passed out because I finally was, the Himika match is like a couple, now it's like 3 or 4, closing in on 3 or 4 in the morning. I'm like, well, now I got to watch Himika's and Micah's match. And then luckily they put, as soon as that was over, they put 7 Up on the screen. I was like, all right, I can go to bed now. Because little did I know, I might have pulled an all nighter after that.
But first, the show starts with a rumble that we don't really need to get into except for two things. First of all, um, I don't have the links to any socials, but if you want to send good wishes to Momo Kogo, who got roughed up in the stupid little rumble they had, like, she's got a Twitter and an Instagram and whatnot. Yeah, there's
Yeah,
no.
just slide into her DM, say, hey, you're really cool. Sorry, Sakurai landed on your face.
Yes. But more importantly, to all the common people who came to Yokohama Arena, I'm going to enjoy fine wine while you, the common people, can share and eat Yokohama shimi bentos.
Wait, I want one of those.
Well, she's the runner up Cinderella, and it's only natural she's the last one in the Rumble, right?
Oh, can I just say that she finally beat the Muscle Machines, and they even got a new
All of
member
them,
in Evil Uno. Yeah, she beat Evil Uno and then the other two.
all in one night. To be fair, it was like a 20-person Rumble that she never. I think she got in the ring, busted Komomo's face, and then left the ring, and then came back, but she beat the Muscle Machines.
Yeah, well, her ladyship. You can't expect her to do too much work.
By the way, there's 3 Muscle Machines. It's like, and one of them took all the muscle. There's like one Muscle Machine. There's a really tall lady, and then there's a gremlin. In my soccer, I beat them all. And then moving on to the next match of the pre-show.
アークソン
Hey,
ブレードジェネラルリーパーイズザトップカワイイオ
Oh,
ブザコ
wait,
ス
we
モス
glossed over.
5
we
Oh,
glossed
starting right
over
off.
Archon Blade.
Thanks, buddy.
I can't concentrate. I can't speak when Utami's theme is playing. It goes too hard. Archon
Oh, I
Blade
don't.
is the top kawaii of the cosmos. That never always gets a chuckle out of me.
Damn right.
Thanks, buddy. We had the
Oh,
mus.
there was one more story. Hanan 2.0 came out.
Oh yeah.
Damn, Hanan all growed up. Uh, Fantastic.
Next, we had the team of all of Oedo Tai that they don't want to do anything with, and then a bunch of white girls and Muscle Mommy.
Yeah,
And
I liked the Club Venus undercard girls with Thekla leading the way, right?
and it ends with, oh, it was ended pretty interestingly. So Raka gets her box, and then they go to use it, and Mariah May catches the box, and she looks like she's gonna use it, and she throws it to Thekla, and she goes, "You use it," and Thekla says, "No," and then next thing you know, there's some arguing. There's a Kishikashi, and there's some very happy bean sprouts. So I don't know what that
Yeah,
was.
Kishikashi's good stuff.
So that partnership lasted half a match. I'm not trying to skim through some of this stuff, but if I don't got nothing, well, I was gonna say if I don't have anything nice to say, but that's not really my gimmick now anymore. Uh, I don't know. Anything to say about this super high speed tag 20-minute time limit match?
No.
Starlight's pretty cool.
Starlight was in it.
Starlight has some really cool gear now,
Yeah.
and I think that her other friend is challenging for the high speed belt.
Really? How many friends does this girl have? Why does she keep sending her friends after her? Why doesn't she just fight for it herself?
She does. She has. Doesn't go very well for her.
Did she do it yet this year? She still gets another turn. She gets them quarterly or something, I thought.
The problem with being forever foes is you kind of don't for you to have a rival or a foe at some point, don't you have to beat them? uh let's see, I had something on this next match, which was Fuwa-chan and Hazuki, who I think is training Fuwa-chan. Fuwa-chan being, as I've been told, like a big celebrity, and an even bigger celebrity, Utami Hayashishida, teaming with Miyu Amasaki. Oh, here we go. You could talk about the match, but I found this article. They I'm gonna assume it's because we have 2 giant TV reality stars. Or actually, I don't know if Fuwa Chan's on TV, but I know Utami's a huge TV star. They aired their match on national TV. Found that fascinating.
Oh, really? That's cool. I've got to tell you, just by her like weird, I guess I call it weird. I don't know. All the weird colors and all that stuff. I was predisposed just to think she was another bubble girl and not like, was it Fuwa-chan?
Fuwa.
And even though Hazuki's pretty cool, and I actually was pleasantly surprised.
I mean, yeah, she seems like she's cares about pro wrestling. It's not You know how it goes with celebrities.
How did these losers keep getting the mic after the match?
I don't know. Why did Hazuki take the mic?
Hey, what the fuck did you just say? The next match, which I was ready to be like a match of the year,
Mm.
and it was all right.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess. It was pretty
The
good.
end of the Himika retirement tour.
The end of the line.
Yeah, the almost end of the line. So Micah versus Himika, and I tell you what, just like right off the bat, I mean it's you had a take which makes sense, but still, it's more sad for the girls watching the girls around her react. You're like, why is everyone so sad for Himika? She chose to leave, and she's getting her wish.
Yeah,
I think my issue is like everyone else crying around her, where it's just like, oh, I more feel bad for everyone she's leaving, you know?
well, as we'll get to after we like talk about this match, you never say never in wrestling. Like who really retires? But like no one ever says 100%, 100% unless you're Himika, who said this is 100% happening.
Our the Venus, I believe, guest ring announces this, right?
Yep.
So introduces the princess and Micah for the final match. Uh they did all the hits, I suppose, right? I mean, they hit each other pretty hard. There was a headbutt, I believe, for some crazy reason.
Uh huh.
Stuff like that. The only thing that sticks out to me, and I actually rewatched it because I was like, oh, and you caught the audio more than I did, and so I'd like you to touch on it too. But even the watch party we were listening to, it caught it before I did. It was like so people were starting to be like, "Oh my god," because Micah, like you could tell, like 3 moves before the finish, like she's crying, like oh my god. And then I rewatch it, and she's, oh my god, yeah. The ending was emotional. Just watching Micah's face like slowly lose it.
People are saying, well, what is she supposed to do if she's not a wrestler? Like, I don't know. She's like 24 and young and athletic and good looking and can talk and can fucking work at Subway if she wanted to. Like, everyone's just assuming, like, well, she has to be a wrestler. I'm like, well, she could probably be really good at other stuff too.
I mean, I don't know. Look at her. She's a monster. That's one hell of a Walmart. I mean, maybe I could see her as a mechanic, like taking the lug nuts off with her bare hands.
Get the jack. Nah, it's okay. We got Himika.
Maybe she could be the next Wonder Woman or something.
Maybe. That'd be cool.
Yeah, she has Amazon vibes. I can see that. When Micah's going for the final pin,
Mike
and
Anoku
it's a,
driver.
yeah, and right at like the 2 count, you just sort of hear kick out. Like Micah's like pleading, please kick out. Don't let this be true. And then she doesn't.
Yep. And then
And then, like you said, that's why I feel sorry for her, because even backstage, you check it out, or all the time, Himika's like, "Yeah, I'm pretty thankful it's over," and it still feels like her best friend's trying to hold it together. You're like,
yeah, and then they put her,
uh,
and then she had to go like take her gear off, come back out. She's wearing a Himika shirt, and then they make Micah do commentary for the rest of the show. Like
I'll tell you, that's
every
one thing I
time
was not expecting,
they cut to Micah, she just like, dude, I don't give a shit. Like, what am I supposed to say?
dude. Like, I was pretty surprised that. So you go through all this, you go through the emotional retire, you say your goodbyes, you grab the mic, you say goodbye, you get the hug, and then well, you still have to finish the night of work. You still had to work ringside.
Yeah, Himika still had
Like, oh,
to.
you can't go home yet. Yeah.
Well, that's what when people were saying never say never, except that Himika did say never, 100% never, 1,000 times never. Um, she said that she didn't really care, and she's like, "Yeah, it is what it is. I'm just retiring." Until they made her work ringside the rest of the match, and she's like, basically, they did a was it DDM, yeah, DDM versus Cosmic Angels match. Well, not after this, but whatever. Whatever match she was at ringside for, that she had this thought. She just was seeing her friends wrestle, and she's there at ringside, and she's like, "Huh, I'm never gonna do that again." And she's like, "Well, that's when I got sad for the first time." So not even 15 minutes after retirement.
Yeah, I did tell you to follow her if since you like the social media, because I am definitely interested on what she does next.
Yeah, so that I can go shop at whatever Walmart she's a greeter at.
Or whatever site she ends up doing. Was it that what you telling me that with Kyrie or somebody? Or maybe it's Capital Saki. They're just like, I make so much more money on my shop, I don't have to wrestle more than twice a year. Maybe Himika just goes that route. Like, you can just go to himika.com. I mean, she can't go to. I'm just gonna gobble up himikafan.com real fast, so she can't use that one. But
Already taken.
already taken. That's all I have to say about that. It was good. I was expecting it to be a match of the month contender for me, and emotions aside, and another take that you had that was fantastic was, yeah, it was emotional, but like it's been emotional for 3 months. Like I'm done. Like
Yeah,
you
that's
retired 3 months ago. You did. Now watch the last match she'll ever have for Sami. I'm like,
the
oh, I didn't know
last
she ever had
time
a match
she'll
for Sami.
ever. But it's the last time you'll ever see it. Could be the
I
first
was
time.
more
It could be the
upset. It
last
was
time.
Yeah. I was more upset. It was gonna be the last time I'm gonna see Ali Kababa.
Yeah, we had that thought too on the Corkin show before this. You're like, are you? It was the last My Himi tag team versus Ali Kabababa Kabam Ali Kaba reunited, Shuri and Julia, and we had the same thought. I'm like, are you also way more excited to see Ali Kaba than My Himi?
Yeah, I was all in.
Yeah, and that's another good example. Remember the last time Ali Kaba fought was the last time, and then they fought together again.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's because it was a wish. That's why this time it was the real last time.
Okay.
Unless Micah retires, then they can fight again.
But that was so
So,
true. She had like a 3 month retirement tour where it said the last time you'll see her versus Natsupoi, the last Himika match versus blah 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 XYZ. And she said in her last press conference was exactly how I feel. She said something like, I've already said everything I wanted to say, so like no point crying over it. I'm just gonna go out and have a match and be done. And that's the
and
end.
that's what happened.
And that's what happened. And Micah should go back to having black hair. I don't like the red hair. I don't know.
The problem with that is when I first started, I don't know what it was. Maybe it's the hips, but when I first started watching, and they might have had similar vibes to me. I always got this might be sacrilege to you, but watching matches for the first couple of months, I swear I always got Utami and Micah mixed up. And now Micah's going back to like old Utami here. I'm like, oh no, no. If we could give Utami her big old red hair back, that'd be a-okay.
That would be okay for sure. It's also funny too because I think Himika said in plenty of interviews like years and years ago, like however old she is now, 24, 25. She's like, yeah, in
Yeah.
5 years when I'm 25, I'm gonna quit wrestling, and everyone was like, okay. And now that 5 years have gone by and she's quitting wrestling.
Yeah, how many people actually stick to that though? I mean, good on her. You know, it's like I'm only gonna work fast food for 2 years. It's like, oh no, now I'm the general manager. There's no getting out now. I'm only gonna do Uber Eats while I get back on my feet.
Can you imagine like Himika just crashing on her friends' couches? I just
Riding her bicycle around Tokyo with Uber Eats. Ring ring.
He's like, Julia, I just need to stay on your couch for a couple weeks.
Yeah,
Mayu.
listen. Remember all you people that said like you loved me and I was awesome? I mean, yeah. So the beginning of the show was fine. It was just a good normal show. Yeah, until the retirement. Then it started heating up a little bit. The emotions started running wild. Um, the people we were watching with was fun. It was emotional. We all laughed and cried together. But now the resurrection of Stardom starts. The new era. Everything that was wrong becomes right.
So you might be
And
looking
the
at
reason
these pictures on the screen right now, and you might be saying, "Who's that pretty lady?" with the.
I know. Now we had Ami 2.0. She went ahead and got the same facelift that Hanan did.
I know they look like they got the same hairdresser, same costume designer. Like Ami's got a whole new look. And
Yeah, we have.
Mariah's Mariah. Mariah's gonna be
She,
Mariah. There's something I guess I don't know what the word is. Endearing, comforting about like Mariah is just gonna be at Mariah level and she's just gonna cruise along and she's got like Ami on one end of the curve and Shuri on the other, and they're fucking both psycho, but Mariah's just gonna be Mariah.
we're looking at it before the show starts. I'm like, there was like two title matches I probably thought there could have been a change, and two I thought
And
there was a 0% chance. I
this was one of
thought
them.
Ami and Mariah. Yep, Mariah was in the zero category for me.
Yeah, I didn't think she'd win her first title 2 days after becoming Cinderella.
Is that her wish? Or is there a chance we're gonna have? I mean, okay, if I was to tell you 3 days ago that, hey, what do you think about Ami two belts? Like, like, are you kidding me? Who?
Oh god, I'm so happy to see you gone. I'm looking at this
Oh,
picture. I fucking hate her so much, man. I try to keep it positive and not hate on people's favorite wrestler, but fuck you, I hate her so much.
yeah, I did like the 30-second skip through the entire match. I stopped at one point when Ami bench presses Nene to like the front row. I'm like, oh, that was all right.
Yeah, and there's a part where I think I can do that because when you're fat and your gimmick in wrestling has to be you're also really strong. And I think she tries to pick up Ami, like I'll do that to you now. And she couldn't pick Ami. She couldn't even pick Momo Kogo up or Saki, let alone Ami, a powerhouse. So she's just got Ami. She's got her arms up, and she's basically Ami is laying on. She's using her head to hold her up, and it looks really pathetic. And then somehow I think Ami picked herself up off of Yu's shoulders and checked herself into the front row because she felt so embarrassed for
That's gonna go to a take we have. It's like we've decided like we're not just picking on big girls. We're picking on big girls who are horseshit.
big.
Because when it comes to that Shuri match, like I don't know her name either. The big girl she fought was effing awesome. But you can't like be 3 times bigger than everybody and not be able to pick them up.
Well, you
That's what makes
can,
her suck.
but you can't pretend that that you can. It pisses me off when you can't. You can't pick up 40-pound Momo Kogo, but then you try to pick up Mirai.
Oh yeah, that's an even better take. Like if she's just gonna throw her weight around, that's
Yeah,
one thing. But yeah, don't act like you're gonna start bench pressing people.
unless you can bench press people.
Unless you can, like Ami.
Yes.
We have one of the funkiest finishes I've ever seen, and I don't even know if quite frankly, I'm not sure according to any wrestling rules anywhere that it was like 100% legit. However, I do believe that the end justifies the means. And if it was the Stardom screw job, the Cinderella screw job to get the titles off them, I'm okay with it.
uh
Like, is that possible? It was a ring out. So the titles changed on a ring out. 7 out up is counted
oh,
out
that's
while
a
trying
good
to rush into the ring,
that's a
but
good
they're
call.
stopping them from going in the ring.
Yeah, but that's a good call. But I choose to just believe that Yu's an idiot and just messed it up herself. I don't
Yeah,
know.
well,
They
they're
did a weird
kicking her back
thing.
out.
Yeah, they're doing a weird thing. Well, first of all, I was confused because they won on a count out and they got the titles, which I guess that's just an American wrestling thing where it has to be a pinfall or submission. So they win
I
the
did tell
titles
you
on a
since.
count out.
Well, I wanted to jet in because I've heard that before. Like out of all the goofy things that ended here, like even on
Well, I'm not saying it's goofy,
all,
just that I didn't know that was the rule.
well,
So
it is because we were never raised like that. But what I wanted to touch on, which I is keeps it like interesting, is like since I've been watching New Japan since for a very long time, and even in there they would always say if this ends in a count out, the titles will change, but it's never happened. So that's why I want to say, you know how they say, I think that used to be your AEW take. And like, can they just disqualify someone once a year so they know it can happen? So once a decade, that was just one of those things where it's a strange rule, but they're gonna let it happen like once. so you know it could happen.
Yeah. I'll at least give AEW credit for that. Like the first like 1 or 2 weeks, like the show went on the air in like 2019, 2020, they had like a time limit draw because I'm like, oh yeah, they have time limits and they've never done it again, but it could happen.
It could happen.
Yeah, I was just confused because Yu gets up on the apron and is standing on the. She's standing on the apron with her hands on the top rope. Like, and that's always been a rope break, getting onto the apron, because they let you fight forever on the apron and they never start counting. So that's why I
and
thought it
the
was. You make a good call about maybe there was something fishy there.
Yeah, it was the screw job. But and it was also weird because then they basically played like linemen. They were blocking her from coming in. Now we've seen that before and sometimes often, and I think this past week, where
Oh, do you
another
remember?
girl
Because I just had this thought a while ago. They did Ami and Mariah versus you and Nene, and something weird happened, and like you was no selling all of their moves, and then she like wasn't. I don't remember how the match ended, but I remember Mariah being fucking pissed, and she stormed to the back, and you can hear her screaming.
dude, that was tag league. That was one of the first times I started hating them more than ever. Because
But do you
yeah, I don't
remember
know what
that? Like,
happened. It
because they
looked.
the way the
Hmm.
camera angle too is they have when they come out from whatever, like their backstage area, they have that little curtain. But Mariah just threw that shit to the side, so like you could see her storm into the back, like just
Yeah,
pissed.
she
She was
didn't do the clap, clap, claps, nothing. She left. She was mad. I think it got like one of those things where like the pull apart at the end got a little extra stiff, and yeah, she wasn't. Yeah, Mariah and did not like you. So
yeah,
new era getting the belts here. Maybe that was payback. That was the screw job, huh? I never want to see them again.
that's true.
Well, so I guess one of our belts came back to Stardom. Do you think the other tag belt has a chance?
No,
Although there's two girls, no, because yeah, Natsupoi is the only one I know from here. The artist of
because
Stardom.
because only like one third of the artist belts will ever be seen again.
Oh my god. I don't know. I'll tell you what though in a second. But we have the Artisan Championship match. We have Kyrie teaming up with Natsupoi, teaming up with bigger Natsupoi
Mhm.
against against
Blue
Kurumi
Reese's.
Suzu and Risa Sera. Yeah, blue Risa Sera, red Risa Sera, the Prominence girls, who have also had the belts for too long, but they started to grow on me. I definitely didn't hate them as much.
Oh yeah, when they don't roll around in Legos and thumbtacks, they're actually decent wrestlers.
Which you say every match, like it makes you mad, and I don't blame you. But the fact is, if they like it, they like it. You're like, why? Every time, halfway through a Prominence match, you're like, you know what pisses me off? That these girls are so effing good, and they would just rather roll around in light tubes. I'm like, well, if that's what they want to do. He's like, but they shouldn't have to. I'm like, well, if that's what they want to
Hey,
do.
Shuri's on my side. Risa Sarah, blue Risa Sarah, real Risa Sarah, challenged Shuri for the red belt, and then after the match, she's like, that was awesome, but you kept cheating and trying to use a fucking kendo stick, and it was bullshit. Let's just have her. She's like, you can join God's Eye, or you could come to Stardom, and I'll have a rematch. If like, just wrestle, please. You're so
Right.
good. And then she said, "Nah, I think I'm gonna go make a horror movie."
My biggest takeaway that stands out to me is one. I remember thinking that Kyrie didn't seem to. I love Kyrie, and usually think she's a plus wrestler, but she might not have just like melded with Prominence. But then again, they were throwing them in the first row and playing with weapons, so that could have been a style she wasn't really into. But boy, Big Natsupoi is fucking amazing.
Big
Am I
Natsu boy.
wrong?
It's gonna. Let's just never agree to never say her real name.
I have no idea what it is.
She'll make you. She's gonna make you say her name.
Absolutely.
Acknowledge me.
Yeah. I don't know. I really yeah, well, considering I say how much I like her, I might as well go out of my way of. I didn't want to learn her name because that makes it real. Is it Soroyano? That sound about right?
Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, a bigger girl, and I don't know. She was just everything she did looked great. And then the pin, like she'd like she it was the funniest pin I've ever most amazing pin I've ever seen in my life. So she pins Suzu, right? It goes somewhere from a German to some kind of crazy spider crawl where she's holding Suzu's arms down with her arms down. And then she like instead of just bridges, she bridges onto Suzu's legs. Suzu is eating her own kneecap. Like it's count to 1,000 or as long as she can hold that move. Because my God. And what does this mean for the artist championships? Is Kyrie full time? Is Big Natsupoi work for us, or is like just little Natsupoi gonna run around with her orange belt?
I think she's gonna have the longest reign of any artist champion of all time. Because I don't. There's you can tell me I'll see Kyrie on a pay per view. You can tell me I'll see other Natsupoi on a pay per view. You're gonna get the two of them together. That's not happening very often.
I don't know, but I like this team, and I even like the way it looked at the later on in the show when you got to see all of them together.
No, but Soroi is gonna. I don't know if Kyrie's in Cosmic Angels. That doesn't seem right. But Soroi is gonna. Unfortunately for Tam, she's already lost her Natsupoi in Cosmic Angels. And, well, I guess that's the only other. Is it just Natsupoi and Tam? That's the only angels left.
Basically, right? And when I say after this match, I'm like, oh no, now what the hell is Tam gonna do?
Yeah, because she's
Boy
already
has a belt.
lost. She's already lost her Natsupoi. It's happened.
He's like, I'm gonna tell you what, Tam, this whole like CD thing and Dancing to the Ring was pretty cool, but you know who else is pretty cool? Like this big girl and like Kyrie. Like Kyrie wanted to wrestle with me. No offense, but it's
Well,
Kyrie.
I don't know. There's only two options here. Poi is either an evil mastermind, or she just she just can pick winning teams, and she keeps okay, there's three options. Either she's really smart and knows how to pick winning teams and keeps jumping ships. B, this is all part of her master plan somehow. It's just she's like really the puppet master behind Stardom. Or C, which is probably more accurate, she's really easily led astray. She's like, but Kyrie is so cool, Tam.
Yet she's the pet of another trio too.
Yeah, she never.
Yeah.
I thought she didn't want to be a pet. She
Can't help it.
They even gave her a dog collar. Natsupoi with the choker is okay with me.
So that was good. So match number two, a second match in a row. Just the wheels are turning and everything is becoming right. Like just everything that should happen is happening.
Yeah,
Like, when was the last time that happened? When Shuri beat Utami? Like that was when that was the night Saya won. Like we haven't had a feel good show like this in way too long.
I like how they formatted. I think their tag team name is Restart, but on the website it just says Kyrie Group comment for their backstage comments. Just Kyrie Group.
Told you she was the leader. You said she was having the. You said
no, the
she
blue
took the pink belt, which meant the.
She's the eye
meant
candy.
The rich belt, right? Yeah, the eye candy. Well.
Well, I mean, let's look at the facts. Kyrie has. I don't know if it works 100%, but Kyrie has the pink belt. Who else has had the pink belt?
Well, Kashima.
Himika.
Yeah. All right. Eye candy belt.
Mina Shirakawa. The orange belt, and then the blue belt's the leader belt, because Mina Shira, or not Mina, Tam Nakano,
Who had it? My Himi boy.
The leader, Natsupoi.
Oh, so Poi got demoted.
Yeah, and then the orange
not
belt.
Not only did she leave, but she got demoted.
No, but she's got. It's not a demotion. It's just like. The blue belt's the leader belt. This is just my theory. Like it's hard. I'll start stuttering over my words if I have to try to think who had what belt when, even though it's in my mind for some reason.
I was just gonna ask you to repeat the same exact thing and see if you said the same thing twice. You know, like a personality test. You keep asking the same question to wait for them to screw up.
Yeah. The blue belt's the leader belt. The pink belt's the eye candy, and the orange belt is the I'm gonna knock bitches' teeth out belt.
Oh.
So that's Poi's new job. She's the demolition man.
All right, I like it.
I mean, can you think of a flaw in that logic?
No, I can usually not think of a flaw in any of your logic.
So that was really good. Also, Suzu left prominence, so that was news.
She done quit?
She done quit. Yeah,
Really?
they put out a statement.
Is she coming here? I tell you what, I don't know if it's just our group of weirdos in our community in Discord, um, but dude, like, there's a lot of Suzu fans out there, and I'm pretty sure I'm one of them. Is she like coming here, or is she freelancing, or what do you think's happening?
I'm pretty sure that I don't care.
Oh, really? Come on, you like Red Risa, Sarah?
I don't even know her name.
She had a match of the year versus Saya Kamatani,
I could have a match of the year with Saya Kamatani.
which is a perfect segue to the match of one of the matches of the night. Mina Shirakawa, just a few short months out of from returning after one of the most devastating injuries in wrestling history. She didn't lose her smile; she had her smile broken at the evil, dastardly hands of Saya Kamatani. Can Mina make it right? Can she get her revenge on the dirty, dastardly Saya? Maybe.
Sorry, my microphone went out. What? My headset. Sometimes it just goes out and I can't hear what you're saying. Did you say
Well,
that our Stardom's protagonist Saya Kamatani had to go up against the biggest heel in all of wrestling, Mina Shirakawa?
well, the way I see it is that it's a classic like Dusty style redemption arc, if you will. I mean,
Oh,
Mina's coming back after being.
don't be buttering me up with Dusty Daddy.
I mean, Mina did it.
She gonna get
So I
funky
mean,
like a monkey.
so she gets funky like a monkey, and she needed revenge. You know, Saya plays dirty. She has loaded shin pads or something, busting faces, and
She's got
you know.
big bony bird knees. It's not her fault.
It's yeah, you know what? You know what? I was wrong. Saya weighs all of fucking 82 pounds. If you get your face broken from that landing on you,
I knew Mina was in trouble when she came out like tanned. Like when she came out tanner than Saki from Colors, I was like, oh, she means business.
yeah, and she did. Uh, what do you think about working a body part the entire match?
Oh, you mean like when it's not a video game with like a health bar and like they don't just like do moves like hacking away till like the boss is dead?
I love a lot of the flashy stuff, and I love Mina Ric Flair the fuck out of
No,
these girls sometimes.
don't say Ric Flair. Like Ric Flair's never attacked a leg like Mina did. She had four. Ric Flair
uh,
did like the same two shitty moves because he was a shitty wrestler. Uh, to break down a leg, he's like he would kick you in the leg and then he would like knee you in the leg and then he would put you in a figure four and then the match would be over. Actually, that's not true because no one's ever actually lost to a figure four. But maybe they would have. Maybe someone would lose to a figure four if he was as good as Mina Shirakawa is at attacking a body part. You ever think about that? I slept on
yes.
it. I slept on it, and I was bummed because I just got on board with Saya being the protagonist of Stardom. And then just right when I got on board, like it all gets taken away. And I like Mina, and she's gonna have a fun little time with her cosmic colors club Venus girls.
I like the match. I like her pace of picking a leg because that's how she wants to do it. I was also with you because I've always been pretty much a Saya fan to the point I wanted her to be number one once on our power rankings. And then she cried a lot, so that was a bummer. And then like last time we saw her, she started getting crazy. She spits green mist. She's getting like the crazy eyes. I'm like, oh, well, that's the Saya
Mmm.
Kamatani I want. And then you're right. Then they took it away from us. They're like, oh, I just started liking you again 3 days ago.
Well, so what you're saying is that Mina got in her head, and instead of fighting like a Golden Phoenix, she was trying to fight like Mina Shirakawa. So it sounds like there's a 5-star coming along pretty soon in the end of June, I think. Saya Kamatani needs to build her way back to the top.
Oh, wait a sec. Okay, because I just thought of two separate things now. That is fantastic. All right, so like, yeah, Mina beats Saya with like a super DDT off the top rope, like the Impaler DDT, and like Saya's dead. So count to 100. I was thinking to myself, my goodness, I like these forever foes. At least finish the year off
No,
fighting
what?
each other.
She beat her with a figure 4 driver. She's the only person I've ever seen turn a figure 4 into. How can I put someone in a figure 4 and then drop them on their head? Mina's amazing.
Yeah. Well, she did the big. Oh yeah, that's right. She did the like neck breaker where she lifts her up and like drops her on her knee or something, right? That was pretty. That was pretty brutal. Uh, I wanted to see this match again, like 3 more times. However, the last time Tam
Right
Nakano
there.
had a belt, who took it away from her?
Some chick from Queen's Quest.
Ah, Saya Kamatani. So maybe Saya, maybe you know what? Saya was the Cinderella, then the longest reigning white belt champ. Maybe Saya needs to win. Saya comes up and now she wins the 5-star
Well,
Grand Prix.
longest
Oh,
reigning.
things could be happening.
That's a little wishful thinking. I wish
Or
she
we
was
could
the
just see her
longest.
versus Mina a couple more times. One of the two.
I wish she was the longest reigning white belt champion.
Or most defenses, just because she worked harder.
Just
Can't
because
hold that against her.
she was better.
Obviously.
Mina.
Yeah, Mina's a champ. Saya was like happy for her afterwards. They were doing the whole like we just hurt each other a lot and let's hug it out a little bit. Saya put the belt around
But-
Mina's waist. That
but
was
check-
cute.
Check out the logo design for Club Venus, led by the 17th Wonder Stardom champion Mina Shirakawa, has been decided. Club Venus is yeah.
Oh, I
That's-
need to print that out. I'm gonna put that on the door of my little recording room. It's like Club. Welcome to Club Venus.
I think I need to get a tramp stamp. What?
Well, that's not gonna get you back on YouTube. At this point, just show it off. All right, now it's time for a serious talk. So we were saying if we were to do like a fund, when you get to a certain point, you do a live stream in Fukigen makeup.
Yeah.
How much? What's your number starting right now that we track that
Mhm.
gets you a that gets you a tattoo?
A tattoo.
Like I mean, a tattoo, any tat. I mean, I'm not even gonna like say it has to be Club Venus, but there's got to be a number up there that gets you like mystery inked here.
Mystery inked. I don't even know what it is.
We'll come up. Oh, this is what we do. We get a few of the fans. We get Enigma throws in a tattoo idea. Hendrix, all the regulars, and then we reach a number. We play a game. And you pick out of a hat, and you probably accidentally pick Enigmas, and you have to get an Izumi tattoo. That's probably a much higher number though. Oh man. Okay, how about this? Riddle me this. How much for an Utami Rose on like your shoulder blade or somewhere manly? I mean, she's given you two already.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna not talk about that because then that's all I'd want to talk about. But if you want me to.
All right, we'll move on. We were just spitballing. All right. So that's in the work, everybody.
No big deal.
Juno's Stardom Mystery Inc.
No big deal. I just casually have been chatting with Utami, but whatever. It's no big deal.
And you know what hasn't happened? You haven't received Utami cannot receive your messages. That hasn't happened yet.
Not yet.
Like, could you imagine? That would be amazing if it ends up on one of their like little vignettes where they, you see all the girls joking around, and you just be like, "Oh, it's him again." They're like, "Ah," and then you just like see one of the girls be like, "Oh, just send him one of those roses. It's the only thing that seems to shut him up."
Yeah.
Or She's probably like, "Oh my god, I can't believe Juno said hi to me again. I've been waiting for him all day. Here's a rose." That's
She's
probably how it really went.
yeah, she's just too shy to say anything else.
Uh, so Shuri wrestled a match where apparently I didn't know to the end when the ref said we don't count to three. You only win by knockouts. So that's a type of match that Shuri does now. Shuri versus Chohiro Hashimoto. Now this is a big girl I can get behind. She annoys the fuck out of me, but boy can she go, huh?
Yeah. She's really annoying, that's for sure.
Yeah, she's annoying as fuck, but my god, like she is
There
a really good wrestler, dude.
I just want to. There's one part that had to mention because it's so badass. Right, said center of the screen. I can't say her name. Chihiro hits this
Sure.
monster spear onto Shuri, and I think Shuri smacks her head on like a ring post or something under the ring or like concrete floor, and it was brutal. And I thought she was dead. But what makes Shuri such a fucking badass is that Chihiro looks like she's just gonna crawl or stands back up and she's just gonna get back in the ring and go for the count out. And Shuri, who just got her brains splattered all over the floor, grabs her by the ankle and is like, "No, I'm not done with you." Like,
That was your spot of the night or spot of that match too. I remember you saying that too. Like right while watching it, you're like, that is effing insane. Like that was Shuri got her bell rung. Like that was
yeah,
everybody like step away and let her breathe and see if she has a concussion, which she probably did.
yeah.
Yeah. What you said is 100% right. She pulls her back out and is like, "Oh no, my turn, asshole." My favorite part about a Shuri match is that when she gets hit, you know she's just going to give it back 3 times harder. Oh, it's so good. It's so good every time. Shuri ends up doing whatever awesome stuff she does, and then she ends up on top of Chohiro, and the ref just waves it off. And of course, with everything, when I watched this, I didn't rewatch it with an English version, and so I didn't realize that. Of course, Shuri isn't going to do a normal match when she can have a knockout only match. So the ref waves off the pin attempt, and then I believe on the site I saw you scrolling down. Shuri wins via KO. Nothing fancy. We're just gonna call her move face kick. Just
Face
knocks her the
kick,
fuck out.
face kick, KO.
How would you describe the finish? Because we both described it the same exact way, which I thought was sort of funny.
Um,
As Chohiro's getting
yeah,
up, she's reaching for the ropes, trying to fight to her feet.
and I was like, "This. I hope this ends like Rocky, and she gets to like." She's the ref's counting. It's for a 10 count, or I don't know if it's a 20 count or 10 count. Doesn't matter. Gets to 9. She like pulls herself back up to her feet and then like falls back down. And the ref's like, "Oh no, it's over."
I know, which was super funny because then I watched it the next day with you, and then I saw that happen. I'm like, "Oh my god, just like Rocky!" And you're like, "Holy cow, that's what I said yesterday," and no one in the chat knew it. So I'm on your wavelength at least, dude.
And then Shuri said, "It's so fucking crazy." She shrieks, like she's got the every second of a Shuri match, she's screaming on the top of her lungs. It sounds like she's gonna blow her voice box out. I'm like, damn, get this lady some nice hot tea. But then after every one of her matches, somehow you had a good take. Like we'll get to Tam Nakano after her matches. Always sounds like a demon. But Shuri's like,
The
thank
exact
you.
opposite.
Yeah, she's so cute. She's like, thank you for fighting me. Thanks for coming, everybody.
And after Tam wrestles, she forgets that she's supposed to be a cute anime girl. She's like, "How did you like the match?"
Yeah, she's like a screamo, like death metal cover artist.
She sounds like that fucking 28-year-old sorority girl that forgot she was supposed to graduate and smokes 10 packs of cigarettes a night. Every time. Uh, Dude, before we get on to the next one, do you mind if I take a minute break? We're actually in an hour in or so, which is fine. I knew this was going to take a while, but it's a good time for a quick halfway break if you're into if you don't mind.
Halfway, it's All-Star Grand Queendom, of course.
Catch up with the chat. I'm sure everyone's like super excited about the tattoo idea.
Um,
We're gonna get you tattooed, baby, for free. Come on, we can raise the money to get you a tattoo. I'll be right back.
Let me start scrolling back through. Then they finally lost the title. How can that be awful? No, that was great. Just a weird ending. Is Momokogo okay? I have no idea. No update. Which could be a good thing. I don't really know if they publicize that a lot unless they know they're going to be okay. Or unless they're going to miss a show. I'm not getting an Azumi tattoo. That's just not happening. How much? How the? I'm not agreeing to this. This does not work out for me. The joke was, for a certain amount of donations, I would do a show with Fukigen face paint. And then it was, well, then I'll do a show where during the show I'll be painting my face like Fukigen to start the show. I don't know how that goes into now I'm getting a tattoo.
It just makes you're the one that said you wanted a tramp stamp.
Yeah, for Club Venus is here.
All right, well that's fine. I think we can raise the money. You don't even have to pay for it. I think you just need a little bit more moonshine, and then you'll agree to it. So far, this match or this show, I thought to myself, like everything that I would want to happen has happened. This is the greatest thing of all time. I'm not even going to be mad when Mayu Iwatani loses to Mercedes Moné for the IWGP Championship. And then, you start seeing behind the scenes. It was super funny because I think earlier that day, I'm talking to my brother. He's like, I heard Monet didn't have a contract. And I thought to myself, that's why I texted you. I think Mayu can actually win. And then someone in the Discord goes, Monet has extended her contract with New Japan. And then I texted you back. I'm like, there is no effing chance Mayu can win. What do you think about this match? This is your first time seeing the new Mercedes Moné in a match, wasn't it? You've found a way to miss her first couple defenses.
Found a way to miss is a good way to put it. Why did I care about a New Japan belt that was never on a Stardom show? That's my
You
take.
you no sold the belt from the start of the tournament, which was even more like interesting. It was like I didn't hate the belt until at least the tournament was over. And then it was even a month after that.
Yeah. I think I have a new. It's my new champion. The new greatest belt in all of wrestling.
Well, that's what it basically transcended to. There's a couple things that shock me. I said that there's no way in hell that a New Japan belt, which is what this was supposed to be, is going to change hands on a Stardom show. There's no way in hell Sasha Banks is going to lose it with her name recognition with a pending US tour. I said there's no way in hell. I don't know, that would have been the only two reasons. But anyways, it turns out that Mercedes Moné is literally my second favorite IWGP Women's Champion of all time. Wait, third favorite. She's the third one. I think I probably liked Kyrie better. But you get my point. The belt sucks so bad I forgot Kyrie had it for fucking 3 weeks.
Mayu. What do I have to say about Mayu? She's so good that I just go speechless.
You could probably let's just use Monet's words if you wanted, because by the end, Monet had to break character and be like, "All right, it's right. Everything they said about you is true. You are the Stardom icon, and someday maybe I'll be as good as you. Let's do this again sometime."
Yeah, and then she went backstage and looked in a mirror, and then before she did her post-match comments, she's like, "Look what this bitch did to my forehead. I want another. I'm the CEO. I'm the icon. I want that bitch in my city with my cousin." And then she's like, "Well, she's like, roll one up because next time it's in Long Beach, bitch.
Yeah. Did she
Uh,
actually say stuff like that at the post match?
oh, I probably censored it far too much.
Well, that's actually pretty funny. Well, good. Well, I'm all in for a rematch, I guess. I think Mayu getting a nice U.S. tour. Like, the more Mayu, the better. Like, just everyone needs to know who she is, right? I mean, she was around in Ring of Honor for a little bit when they were at their peak, but she could use I don't know, share the Mayu, I guess. We can share the Mayu. I
Mayu versus Charlotte, Mayu versus Charlotte 2, Mayu versus Utami, Mayu versus Charlotte 3. I'm just giving you ideas here, New Japan.
I know someone was saying like nothing will make them happier than Forbidden Door having like Mayu versus Jamie Hayter. I'm like, well, that's not the Forbidden Door I want. You give me, you give me versus Mayu versus like a real female wrestler, and I'm a okay.
Oh my
There's
god.
way better American wrestlers that'll get Mayu over.
Imagine Rhea Ripley, she would destroy Mayu, and then somehow Mayu would come out with the victory.
Absolutely, she would. You know how she would. You touched on it. Sasha's forehead. Sasha had a fucking hematome. What do they call it? A hematoma over on her forehead, like
Yeah.
from a Mayu super kick that made her look like she was in a Nate Diaz UFC fight.
She
Like,
did.
dude.
That's why when after she lost the match and she Mayu calls out Monet again to basically be like, you know what? Because Mayu's a good lady, so she's like, you said all these mean things about me, but you know you were really good and you did a lot of good stuff for this belt. And then I thought Mercedes and Monet would give her a backstabber or something, but it must have been the concussion because she says, I wonder if it'll say. I kind of forget what she says, but she was very. Oh, I'm very proud to be the CEO of Stardom. And Mayu, to me, tonight you proved that you are the true icon of Stardom. Mayu, please take care of the IWGP Women's Championship and show all the women and all the little girls around the world that you are a real icon. And I only had two thoughts. A, and most likely, it's a concussion talking. B, B, she's.
She got the text on her way back, and Hunter said, "How much were they paying you? Double it."
I was also thinking maybe she loses to Mayu and's like, you know what? I could probably butter this idiot up into giving me a rematch. Mayu, you're so great. Mayu, you're so awesome. It would be so gracious of you to let me have a rematch.
Yeah, it would be something if they do a rematch in like a Mercedes hometown. That could be a thing you could see going back and forth. But
Yeah, Mayu is a total fucking badass. It doesn't happen very often where she just gets that smirk on her face like she knows she's the shit and she spends the whole match just like pounding on Monet. Like there's a point in the match where she's on the outside just choking Monet and the ref's like, "Mayu," and she's like, "What? I can't choke a bitch out? Fuck you, ref. I'm Mayu."
I this was a point. There was a point in this match, maybe probably more than one, and usually in every Mayu match we watch. Mayu, I always say to you, like, does anybody love her job? Anybody in the world love their job more than Mayu Iwatani? When she does something cool, you can just like see under her hair this smirk, like she knows how awesome whatever just happened was. Like Mayu loves her job more than anybody in the world, guaranteed.
I don't know if these are I'm conflating two really awesome parts. There's one part where Mayu picks up Monet for a tombstone, and then it was like dead quiet because you know in Japan they actually like to watch the match and not hear themselves on TV. But Mayu's just holding her there, like no, like this is fucking cool. Like she starts like doing her hand, like no, start clapping, and she just holds her there until like she thinks people are cheering loud enough, and then she gets like an evil smirk on her face and hits a tombstone, and you think she would go for the pin if I'm remembering the order of the moves right. And she just goes, no, no, no. Get up, Monet, in English. And then Monet sits up and she, like, soccer ball punts her head off.
What's cool about that tombstone too is Monet sold it great, like you would assume you would if you're about to be dropped on your head. You start hearing her yelling, "No, no, no!"
Mayu's like,
It,
yes, yes, yes.
it was good shit. I'll tell you what. Now, this might be the Mayu effect, but this is probably one of my favorite Sasha Banks matches of all time. definitely my favorite one in any Japan ring.
Wait,
That's for sure.
this definitely qualifies as my favorite Sasha Banks match without Charlotte Flair in it.
Well done.
There was wasn't there like a whole year-long stretch on WWE
It was like
on Monday
2017 or 2018 where they were like literally the only reason I turned it into Monday Night Raw. They were so good together for like 6 months.
because they wanted to get Charlotte like 8 more title reigns.
Yeah, which accidentally made Sasha like the second highest title rank.
That was good stuff. So now we have an international icon.
Yeah, apparently I just was scrolling around real quick, but I guess Monet said something along the lines of the next time they fight, it's gonna be on her home turf in Long Beach. Uh, at the something about Snoop at the doghouse. I'm like, all right, well you might as well name drop while you're at it. Cousin's a cousin. Next thing you know, Snoop's gonna be in the New Japan. What do you call it? Hall of Fame.
Oh God.
I have a question. Do you think Julia can defend her belt successfully for the third time?
Oh, well, that's interesting you say that because backtracking a little bit, you were talking about all the things people are sending us about. Oh, Mercedes Monet, she's got a second house in Japan now and she's learning Japanese and she's training here and she's like, I want to stay and I got a new contract. One of the things people were also saying is like her and Julia were going back and forth on Twitter about how they should have a match and unite these two belts, like unify them. But thankfully, our two
I
heroes
was,
never let that happen.
I was gonna say, luckily, well, now I'm at the opinion those two idiots can fight each other all they want. Dude, when it comes down to it, like this is another match where I actually thought in my heart of hearts maybe Tam Nakano could win this. This wasn't a 0% chance. My 0% chances tonight was the tag match. I was sort of confused about the Kyrie and two Natsupoi matches because I'm like I didn't even know how they got together. And then my other 0% chance was Mayu. So Ken, with everything we just saw, everything being made right in the best pay-per-view of all time, can another belt change hands? Does every belt do we get a new champion? Like for every belt? Except for Azumi? And the only reason is because she didn't defend it?
Coward.
Coward! Azumi! Coward! Dude, I really like this match, Tam Nakano versus Julia for the red belt. I really liked, I mean, if we're gonna end up with matches of the month, and I've been keeping track, I might have a match of the month question for you. Like I really like this one. These girls, this is another, I don't know, when you're good together. Like I don't like Julia, and 90% of the time I don't like Tam. But man, do I love watching them kick the shit out of each other for my enjoyment.
It's amazing how I could have the complete say what you said, but the opposite. Man, I really like Julia and I really like Tam, but man, do I never want to see them fight ever again. It was a match
Well,
that happened. I did like the couple parts where they're hitting each other really, 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 really hard back and forth, and then a couple times Julia, the referee, said it was a closed fist, and she's saying, "No, no, no, that was the elbow, man. That was the elbow. That was the
yeah,
back."
I think bad guy Julia, she's just throwing closed fists left and right.
Well, she threw a knockout punch, and the ref almost called it. The ref almost called it, and she's like, "Nah, nah." She's like, it was the elbow, it was her forearm.
Yeah, starts pointing to her forearm.
And then she did it again. And the second time she did it, the crowd they didn't give a fuck about Monet, like for as much as we don't like her, like but Julia hits a second closed fist and the crowd starts groaning and she's like, "Shut the fuck up." Like I know Julia wants to be liked, but when it comes to Tam, she's like, "Fuck you fans. I'm going to keep punching her in the face."
They hit each other hard. They did the normal stuff they normally do, and then the only surprising thing is to me, I wanted it to happen. I thought there was a chance. And Tam Nakano, by the end of the match, she was working hard because her Botox melted. She looked rough, but boy, does she look so much better with a red belt than Julia does.
Um, you- at some point, during this match, you think it would have been safer if they just started hitting each other. Well, if it was a real like mixed martial arts fight, the match might have been called.
Dude, that's why they only fight each other once every 2 years.
Look at that face.
Yo, she gets blown up. Well, she gets like whenever she wrestles really hard, like she definitely, yeah, she definitely melts. But
But
that's
it's
whatever.
but it's alright because she got a hug from Yuri and she kissed the boo boos away and everything's all good. She's the champion. Pretty soon
So
she's gonna
here's
have no friends and a title belt, and that'll be interesting.
here's my take. I'm all in the cult of Tam Nakano. I love her. I think,
Do you
yeah, I'm
love?
all in. I'm a cosm.
Do you
I
love
love.
love her?
Yeah, I think I'm there. I think I love the Cosmic Angels. I'm not so sure they're not the bad. They're not even close to the bad guys
Cour-
anymore. It's literally
Of
turned
course
into
you
my.
like the Cosmic Angels. There's only one left.
They got rid of everybody. Yeah, if you have that picture handy. So the night ends. Everybody in Cosmic Angels version 8.0 has a belt. Look at that. The two Natsu points with a Kyrie. And now we have the leader, the new Red Queen of the Cosmos. Fucking A, dude. Tam Nakano. The Tam Nakano Kool-Aid. Yeah, no, I'm serious. Like, I love the Angels now.
There's only one.
Well,
Cosmic
Kyrie's
Angel.
an angel, I think. Okay. You know what? Well, she trimmed the fat. That's all we need is one. Charlie's Angel, Cosmic Angel.
She doesn't have any fat to trim.
Well, it's all good stuff.
Tamu's Angels. That's what it should be called.
What's your favorite match of this night?
Um,
Not really even based on outcome, just like a match that maybe you enjoyed the most. I think that's actually two different. Actually, that's a couple different questions for me.
Well, because I watched the whole show live, and then I watched it
You
again
basically
with
watched it
you.
twice, yeah. My most entertainings, I think,
You think
was
I was scrolling back, like I thought Micah and Himika would be like match of the night or up there. Like I don't even know if it's top 5,
no,
and it wasn't
I
bad
feel
at all.
no, it wasn't bad, but that also had one of those problems where I've been looking forward to this match for 3 months. You know what I mean? It's like whenever you're looking forward to like a new anything coming out and be like, oh my god, I can't wait to see this. I can't wait to see this. If it's not literally the greatest thing you've ever seen,
Yeah,
what are they supposed to do? Luckily, they were right before the tag match because it would have been completely forgettable if they were next to anything after that.
um,
Oh,
I did say I gotta say my favorite part of the night was getting a new Tommy Rose.
what time of the night was that?
Does that count?
7:30 in the morning.
Does that count as my favorite part of the show?
What did you tell her or tweet her that got you a rose emoji?
Oh, I can't possibly say that. We might never get monetized again.
That would have been the perfect time to say. And with that, uh, I I really like this show just because it was all the feel goods. It's been a while, a long while. I was spoiled the first 2 years of my Stardom life where they were giving me everything I ever wanted. I mean, I would have been happy with any one of these outcomes tonight. Like literally, if you reverse every title match and give me any one of them, the tag, the Mayu, the Tan, literally anything. I would have been like, all right, successful pay per view. We're righting the ship. But no, they gave us everything. And if we're gonna go an entertainment factor, like one, Mayu is awesome in everything. But boy, do I love watching Shuri knock bitches out. My goodness. Wow. That's probably my favorite. Like, just sit there and watch a wrestling show match. My favorite like surprising outcome is definitely New Era, if that's what they're still calling themselves, being the tag champs. Because I would have, man, if I bet the house in Vegas, I'd be moving to Florida to live in your garage. I'd be like, I lost the house. Like, I would have bet anything against that match. Angela's favorite match is the undercard. Utami with Hazuki. I'm not gonna lie. Whenever Utami and Hazuki are there together,
Undercard?
obviously
You
it's
mean
pretty cool.
show opener? I think Starlight's outfit is a highlight of the show. She looks really cool.
All right. Well, judge new outfits. Starlight, Ami, or Hanan.
Hane. Oh god. All right. On a
Well,
scale,
that one's the biggest change, though. So that's actually it gets a shock value when she came out. Then I tell you, it panned on her for like 2 seconds because when it plays her Hernan music and then she comes out and we're like, who the fuck is that? we didn't we didn't even know who it was.
I still refused to believe it was her.
Did we touch on the fact that the story of the Phoenix Splash played out? Saya Kamatani went for it, got scared, and her leg hurt, and she went back down. And then finally, later in the match, she goes up, hits it, hits the Phoenix Splash. She starts counting her 1, 2, 3, and Mina kicks out. I don't think anyone's kicked out of it. And that's the story I'm sticking to.
That's gonna be good. I liked what Julia said after she lost. Basically, Tam said, "You're just gonna keep coming and coming for me and keep trying to take this from me, aren't you, Julia?" And then this is what I've been saying this whole time. Like, are we sure that it's not just self-defense?
Because you stayed awake to watch the English commentary, and you said it was something along the lines of Tam was like, "We're gonna be forever foes, right?" And Julia was just like, "Fuck you! I don't even want to see you again."
I don't like. I don't. You know the part where you know the part where I don't like you.
Yeah, like yeah, no, like fuck off.
She says something like, "Julia, are you pretty or are you ugly? I don't know, but you're a monster." Either way, I stole your red belt and you're my biggest rival. Yeah, you're just gonna keep coming and coming. Wait, you're just gonna keep coming back to take this belt, right? And then Julia says, "You're the one who's so insistent." Yeah, you stole my red belt. And then she says, "I don't want to see your face for a really long time." So for everyone who came out to Yokohama Arena, this is what you just got to see, a really good match. Like, I'll give you your props. But Tam Nakano, Arrivederci, Matana, thank you, fuck you, bye. And then Tam also says some shit about like her. She's a psychopath. She's apparently, according to Tam, taking this belt was taking everything from Julia. And it just goes. I just want to talk about the story of Samson, the most hilarious, my favorite story of all time from like the Bible. It's like Samson just keeps murdering people from a separate tribe, and like every time like God gives him the strength to murder more of that other tribe, he's like, "God, please." He kills 100 people. "Please give me the strength for my revenge." He kills 1,000 people. "Please, God, I just want my revenge." It's like, I think you got it, bud.
And with the story from the Old Testament, I would like to say
And
thank
it works
you.
perfectly, because what happens when you cut someone's hair? Utami, Julia.
The powers in the hair.
Yeah. That's why Hanan's so cool. She's got a new hairdo.
Dude, I need to just start off before I ask you, well, which you'd like to plug, but we have to start off by Quincy throwing into the Patreon. He is a Stardom fan, and he earns himself a thank you. Thanks, dude. Stardom fan producers in the creative tier. We have Chicken Brain. We have Jake Ebert. And I forgot what he goes by too in this chat. I should have written it down.
I can't keep them straight. That's why to Archon Blades he did a Ko-Fi said Archon Blades / General Reaper.
I know. He thumbs it down for us.
Because every
But you guys
time, the people who like, from the YouTube, the Discord, the whatever, like sometimes they have different name for like Patreon or Ko-fi, like.
Yeah.
So then I'll read it and I'm like, we got a donation from this guy, and then every single time, like, that's me. I'm like, oh, sorry, I can't keep them straight.
I know, it's good shit though. It's nice. Arcon Blade was actually the first I think ever contributor too, which was super nice. Slash General Reaper.
Who?
I like a Patreon tier, the creators tier. Give us an idea, and we'll try our best to knock a podcast out for it. I mean, been a lot going on, but between now and Fight Week's happening, but after that, there's like a month before the 5 stars. So if any of you guys with the donations have any suggestions, like we're all in. We'd love to do something. We have a few things in the works and some stuff we've been working on, but other suggestions are great. Thank you to Twilight Dream, Cedar Tiger, Rick Blade. Again, Quincy for joining or setting up the watch party. That was super cool. Today's live stream. Thank you, Archon Blades / General Reaper. The people in chat who are I don't have everyone that's been here, but the people that stuck around that are still here now. Thanks for making it fun. But we have Angelo, we have Riley Tucker, we have Sean Wilson. Is at least was showing up on mine. I know there's more there. I know I saw the Jacob Warrior. I saw Tucker, super producer Hendrix. Keep saying thank yous. You can support us right now. StardomFan.com sends you right to the YouTube while the regular site is under some kind of construction. However, well, really, at this point, anything we do is in all the show notes. If you're on the podcast, scroll on down. If you're on the YouTube, scroll on down. Support each other, our friends and fans. Like a lot of people have good stuff, good YouTubes. The newest one I saw was Jacob Burrito, freaking out over seeing Tetsuya Naito live. That was a cool video. What happened? Enigma had a podcast. That was good. I think he got a prediction or two right. He probably got more right than I did, come to think of it. Anything you want to shout out? Super producer Hendrix?
You've been Mark. I've been Juno, together with God's chosen warrior, Tam Nakano. Thank you for listening to Star Fan Podcast. Johnny.
That was really good.
Thanks.
Great job.